What's good? Y'all know who it is? Y'all know what it is? It's your boy Matthew Shack live here in Los Angeles. Welcome to Matthew Shack Unfiltered. What's popping with all y'all, man? First things first, salute to the unfiltered nation. Salute to the unfiltered fam. Salute to the mod squad. Salute to the goons. What's popping with y'all, man? Run the likes up for your boy. Keep the likes at 50%. Last but not least, tip your bartender, bro. What's happening, man? Man, we thought that this was just a one-time thing, but unfortunately, it isn't. Breaking news: Oakland Raider great, and I'm saying great, George Atkinson passes away at the age of 78, man. George Atkinson was the last living member of one of the greatest defenses in the history of the National Football League that I was absolute. It was a pleasure to see as a kid. The Soul Patrol is the last of my youth. Yesterday, it was reported that the matriarch of the Raiders, Carol Davis, mother of Mark Davis, wife of Al Davis, passed away at the age of 93. And we spent 4 hours last night, 4 hours discussing her legacy and her contribution to what we know as the Raiders, because she is definitely somebody who needed to have that type of respect. And if you missed that live last night and you are really a real Raider fan, not a fake one, not a, I like the colors, not because or any other reason, you need to go watch that video, because there was a lot of history that we gave out over here to show how important Carol Davis is, even to this day, on why you have what you have as a franchise. And now I got to talk about George Atkinson the next day. Rough, man. This is not, doesn't feel good to me at all, man, to do this, because the way that we have been looking in the last five and a half seasons in Las Vegas, the absolute worst in my 51-year history as a fan of the Raiders, and an absolute three-ringer from the soil up in Oakland, who grew up in that stadium in Oakland, Alameda County Coliseum, followed them all the way down to LA, came all the way back to Oakland. Now they're in Vegas. My what I know as being a Raider and what made me be a Raider is passing away, bro. It's dying. And George Atkinson, man, was one of those guys who I think he had Hall of Fame credentials, but due to the fact of how he played and what he did and who he did it to, and we'll go over it. Same thing with the assassin, Jack Tatum. He had the assassin, Jack Tatum, and for those of you guys, y'all know who he is. You can't say the assassin, Jack Tatum, without saying the hitman, George Atkinson. George Atkinson did not get as much respect as he should have because of Tatum, but understand, those two guys, they didn't do anything that you're seeing from your secondary right now. Your secondary right now, they can't even put on a shoestring on their cleats compared to these guys, man. The defensive backfield that I had, you not even understanding what the Soul Patrol was. You had the old man Willie Brown, Hall of Famer, dog, the original 24. Okay, the guy who put 24 on the map. The person who you had to ask permission from the Raiders to wear 24. Even Woodson had to ask. Even Sean Lynch had to ask, could I put it on? Because of Willie. That's number one. Then on the other side, you had Dr. Death, Alonzo Skip Thomas. Look at the names. Dr. Death, bruh. Then you had Jack the Assassin Tatum. We don't even need to say that. And George the Hitman Atkinson, bro. When those guys were back there, it didn't matter if it was the Steelers, the Dolphins, the Cowboys. I don't care who you name. They was watching their grills every time they went anywhere. It didn't matter if you had the ball or not. You better know where somebody is, because we're going to take your head completely off, bruh. And that's how we supposed to play, all right? But we don't play that anymore. We play straight cover one. What is that? That's man to man. We weren't doing all these soft zones and doing all these Tampa twos and letting players sit down in coverage and catch the football free and clear off the line. Nah, we was jamming everybody off the line. You was getting hit and you was getting hit. And if your player caught the ball, you were still getting hit. Y'all don't even understand, bro. Okay? You don't even understand. I miss my squad. Okay, George Atkinson, great punt kick returner as well. 30 interceptions, 3 returns for touchdowns. Notorious. Okay, Atkinson and Tatum had everybody shook. All right, and unfortunately, man, 2 days in a row, the mystique of the Raiders and our pedigree and our our foundation as a fan, as an organization, has passed away twice. 2 real Raiders gone within a couple of days. All right, two that did it right, 2 that led with the pride and poise and led with the commitment to excellence and everything, bro. Carol Davis, Mrs. Carol Davis, and now George Atkinson. Okay. So I'm just here to pay my homage to that. All right. So let's get into George Atkinson, because it's always my job, man, for somebody who has seen it, saw it live, lived it, hardware to prove it. A lot of y'all younger guys in the nation, or you younger members of the nation, y'all heard of Tatum, because of course you had. What did he do? You know what he did, and you know what he caused, what kind of aftermath that happened from his hits. But you don't understand the George Atkinson side, because George Atkinson was right there, except for the step off the steps that pretty much made somebody a paraplegic. Outside of that, George Atkinson was just as vicious. All right. So let me give you guys a little backstory on George Atkinson, dog. All right. Once again, salute to Mrs. Carol Davis, and salute to George the Hitman Atkinson. Make sure you go to tonight's live to know your history, Raider fan. Stop walking around here being totally oblivious to what you really are, bro. Do your job, okay? Salute. Okay, let's get into it, man, because that's my job, is to make you guys know what it is. Al Davis drafted George Atkinson out of Morris Brown University. Morris Brown is what? A traditionally black university, because Al Davis was a master scout, okay? He went everywhere looking for players. He didn't care if you was black, brown, white, spotted, dotted, polka dotted, striped, plaid. He just wanted football players. Al Davis didn't have a racist bone in his body, right? Unlike the new Las Vegas Raiders we have that are racist as hell, okay? Hey, they definitely some racist people. But like we said, they're Las Vegas Raiders. It makes sense, right? They're not Oakland and they're not LA, right? So Al Davis always was everywhere where there was football players. He didn't care if you didn't come from Alabama, LSU, Notre Dame. So he drafted this cornerback from Morris Brown in 1968 by the name of George Atkinson. George Atkinson, bro, was considered to be, smaller, wiry, and he was basically getting put back there as a kick returner. And he was a hell of a kick returner, man. He had a game where he punted, a kick return game that he had at the time in the AFL. He had 203 yards in punt and kickoff returns, which was a record at that time. To have 200 yards in a game, you couldn't do nothing with him. So finally put him on defense and matched him up with Jack Tatum and threw in a couple of other cats, Phil Villapiano and these other dudes, man. And we had a problem with a team called the Pittsburgh Steelers. When I became a fan in 1974, bro, my first year as a fan, as a little boy, and going to that stadium, that year, Ken Stabler was the MVP of the league. First Raider player ever to be the MVP of the NFL. I think we had like 9 players on offense that was Hall of Famers. And we went to the AFC Championship game and lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But guess what happened? George Atkinson got put into that lineup later. The next year we played him again. When we played the Pittsburgh Steelers again in 75 in the AFC Championship game, we lost to them again. Both years the Pittsburgh Steelers won Super Bowls. But in that game, that's when George Atkinson started letting people know who we are. In the 1974 Super Bowl, y'all have all seen the Lynn Swann play against the Cowboys, where he jumps up acrobatically, hits the ball, trips over a player, and catches the ball flipped in the air, and he catches it all acrobatically, man. Became the MVP of that Super Bowl. The next year, George Atkinson went out of his way to make sure Lynn Swann wasn't doing that on us. All right. So what did he do? Lynn Swann was coming across the middle, bro. Coming across the middle. Terry Bradshaw, instead of hitting him with a pass, he hit Franco Harris in the flat. George Atkinson is right here. Franco Harris is right here. Franco Harris caught the ball. You think George Atkinson went to tackle Franco? He did not. He let Franco run on by because he was looking for Lynn Swann. He was looking for Lynn. He didn't, y'all get him. Somebody else is going to tackle you. I'm looking for number 88 because he needs to understand that he needs to be looking for me all day. You can go right to YouTube and see it. Franco ran right. He's like, I'm not even tackling you. I'm looking for Lynn. Crossed him. Lynn was, play over. I ain't got nothing to do with it. Not the hitman. The hitman came across with one of these across the helmet. Blah! Knocked Lynn Swann out. That is not an exaggeration. That is not cap. That is absolutely fact. He hit him so hard, he blindsided him, which people would say is a dirty hit. But it was legal in the 70s. Guard your grill. Keep your head on the pivot at all times, dog. Keep your head on the swivel. Lynn Swann fell like a pancake and got let out on a stretcher. He didn't play no more that game. All right? What happened? Well, that with Lynn Swann and them, dog. All right? Lynn Swann filed a police report. I know you think this is cap, little young Raider fan, you little skinny jean wearers of the nation. Y'all really think this is cap, but you can do your homework. filed a police report and a complaint against George Atkinson for assault. Imagine you get hit on a football field and you go file a police report, bro. Needless to say, Pittsburgh won that game regardless. All right. So the next year, 76, we play them the opening game of the season. You would think that Lynn Swann would learn his lesson and be looking for George Atkinson, a.k.a. the Hitman. No, he did not. And the funny thing about it is that Skip Thomas, who's on the Soul Patrol defense, according to Lynn Swann, was a teammate of Lynn Swann at USC. He said, this is what Lynn Swann said, I have never heard anyone else, rest in peace to Skip Thomas. I've never heard him say that this was true. So I don't know, but I'm telling you what was said that I saw the interview. Lynn Swann said that Skip Thomas told him before the game, watch yourself. And he's like, why? Why? He's like, it's a bounty on you, bruh. In other words, I'm trying to give my college teammates a heads up, bruh. You are on the menu, Mr. Swann. And Swann obviously did not listen. Because within that, George Atkinson did it again. George Atkinson went upside his head again. Gave him a concussion. Okay? Again. So understand, did it last year in the AFC Championship game. You try to file a police report, it wasn't going nowhere. Okay? He hit you again at the beginning of the season to make it be known. Don't be this way until it ain't. All right? So when that happened, of course, Chuck Noll, head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who is also a friend of Al Davis, because both of those guys were on the the Los Angeles Chargers roster as coaches. It was Chuck Noll, Al Davis, and what's his name? The coach of the 49ers, man. Okay, who won? Bill Walsh. All right. So Chuck Noll goes in the newspaper because there was no internet, there was no social media, and says that there is a criminal element in the National Football League. He basically called the Raiders defense criminals. So that was a time when George Atkinson said, you're slandering me, and he sued. George Atkinson actually sued Chuck Noll, Pittsburgh Steelers, and Lynn Swann in federal court. This is all true, bro. From hits on the field, you had police reports being filed, you had the cops being called, and you had lawsuits being filed against the Steelers and Chuck Noll and Lynn Swann for slander and libel in the newspaper, calling him a criminal. It went to court. Al Davis had to testify. It's real. It's in Alameda County and Oakland and all of that, bro. This is public record. Needless to say, George Atkinson lost. He lost the lawsuit, bro. He actually tried to sue them for that. That's how far it went. You think that the Chiefs are your biggest ops, but you're just too young to understand it's the Steelers. Steelers are the biggest op in the history of the Raiders. Not the Chiefs, as much as you want to give them that much credit. They're not. Okay? It's the Pittsburgh Steelers are the biggest op and the biggest enemy to any Raider of any kind. Okay? They are absolutely your enemy forever because they stopped you from winning 4 more Super Bowls. If you were able to get past them, the Raiders franchise would have 7. All right? Not 3. So when I hear, oh man, the Chiefs, Chiefs are not, they ain't nothing, bro. The Chiefs have never stopped us from winning a Super Bowl. We've never met them in the AFC Championship game. They're just a regular season foe, bro. That's it. Okay? You can't even remember the last time you played the Chiefs in the playoffs because you haven't been there. All right? Just trying to help you guys out when you keep giving respect to the Chiefs. You don't know your history, big dog. You don't know anything. And these channels damn sure don't know because they keep acting like that's it. But it isn't. All right? So, with all that being said, what happened, bro? Well, there was a football season that happened in between that. And we met the Pittsburgh Steelers in the AFC Championship game again for the third year in a row. The difference is we won. We finally beat them. We went to Super Bowl 11 and won against the Minnesota Vikings and beat their brains in, and we won our first championship. Okay? That had a lot to do with what George Atkinson, Dr. Death Skip Thomas, Old Man Willie Brown, and George Atkinson did earlier in the year, getting into those guys' heads where they were looking around every time they crossed the middle, whether they got the ball or not. They were looking to find out who is anyone behind me? Is anybody? They was in their heads like, we're taking you guys out, right? And it worked because in the AFC Championship game, they couldn't get nothing popping. They can get the running game going, but they couldn't get that passing game going because you're hearing footsteps. You don't know what you hear. You hear something over there. You think it's behind you. It's like, hey, I don't know if I really want to catch this. And even if I'm not catching it, I better be paying attention. Okay. So George Atkinson was extremely instrumental of why we won our first Super Bowl, because he got in their heads. It took 2 seasons to do that. See? The old Raiders understood there's levels, there's steps. Like, we're going to build your fear of us 2 years prior. It took 2 to 3 years to get to the point where those dudes are looking for you everywhere they're out there. Every time they was out there, they're like, hey, man, where's Atkinson? Man, where's Tatum? Where's Thomas? They're looking. Where's Brown at? So, if you guys know what happened in the Super Bowl, you remember Brown caught that interception at pick 6, and his face is real big, and he's running like this, that slow-mo, what they said it was the best play ball league, bro. How do you think he got that pass? Because earlier in the game, Sammy White came over the middle and Jack Tatum, boom, and his helmet fell off. Go watch some video, man. He hit him so hard. Jack Tatum was standing over him doing this. Sammy hold down to the ball, but he got drilled. So what happened? Man, Tarkenton was like, hey, man, I don't know what to do. He's back there. He throws the ball to Willie Brown. Willie Brown runs a pick 6 all the way that way. Okay? That's how you play defense where I come from. Where I come from, in the Bay, we don't play defense the way we playing it now. You think the Chiefs could have survived against my team? Against my 76 Raiders? Man, Travis Kelce would have got his head knocked off. All these dudes, man, Juju Smith-Schusters and all these cats. Patrick Mahomes thinking he could just run every play he can? Nah, that wasn't going to happen, big dog. That wasn't happening against my squads back in the 70s, bro, because we understood we have to play the way we play. Okay? Straight up. All right? Salute to George Atkinson. A lot of us know that his son, George III, played for us. There was a lot of tragedy in their family. Both of the twins, of his twin sons, Josh and George III, they both, committed, an act of self-destruction to themselves. Their mother had a lot of manic episodes and passed away also earlier in that year. So George lost his wife. He lost his twins within 2 years. He lost his wife and he lost his twins within 2 years. So a man that had to go through that, lose his family like that, but he still was doing what he needed to do. He was around the Raiders. He used to be on the behind the shield. Those of us that remember when he was behind the shield, he was on the radio telecast, all that back in Oakland, and he was on the radio quite a bit, doing some television as well. Um, man, for a man to have gone through all of that, to still represent the Raiders and still do what it is he needed to do to keep himself going. Very strong man. Very strong man. No, I don't know how he did it, but it's probably because he had that desire to do what he needed to do. And it was reported that he passed away at the age of 78. So what am I here to say? What I'm here to say is, man, is that unfortunately, the team that we have now, we don't have that kind of heart outside of one player. There's only one player that personifies that kind of play, and that's 98. But when I was growing up, I had a team full of 98s on offense, on defense, on special teams, my quarterback, even my punter is in the Hall of Fame. Okay? To be the only punter in the Hall of Fame. I just wish that the Raiders would get back to that. But it's hard to do it when you have nobody that you can look to. You don't have nobody that's involved with this franchise that can get out there and show them how to be a Raider, bro. I don't know who's teaching them how to be a Raider. Max is a player. How can he do it? He's busy trying to do what he got to do. If he ain't out there doing what he need to do, he ain't got time to be the coach too. He's tried it. I've seen him try to hype up Gardner Minshew. I've seen him train Tyree Wilson one-on-one when I was at the training camp. I mean, how much more can one man do? And then you want a lion's share of the fan base wants him traded. I mean, you can't make it up, man. You can't make people be what it is they're supposed to be. You just have to be who you're supposed to be. So I'm not happy about it because it's like I feel like my childhood is just it's passing away, bruh. And that's what happens when you live long enough. You're gonna see your heroes. Your heroes are gonna die. I don't know no better to say that. Your heroes are gonna die, bro. You go around long enough, your heroes are gonna die. Okay? And he was definitely one of my football heroes because he got me what I needed, which was that championship. He was ruthless. That defense was ruthless. That offense was ruthless. John Madden was ruthless. Al Davis was ruthless. Okay, Ron Wolf was ruthless. And then based in that Oakland Alameda County Coliseum was ruthless. That's why we won. Now, we suffered than baby shit now. But hey, y'all got it. I'll just sit back and count my rings and let y'all figure out how you're gonna get yours. So salute to George Atkinson. Not an insignificant person. One of the Raider greats. And unfortunately for a lot of Raider greats, they're not even going to sniff the Hall of Fame because of who they played for. They would have played for anybody else, they would be in. But due to the fact they played for us, doesn't look likely. Let me read you guys' comments, y'all. All right? See what's stopping with you guys, man. Hope everything's cool with you. These are the kind of things that I don't really particularly like to do. But who else is going to get here and give you the information? Who else is going to tell you what these guys did from this, from these? Not from video, not from Wikipedia, but somebody who actually witnessed it and saw it in the flesh. That would be your boy. All right, man. Let me holler at y'all right quick. Booty Bang, what's going on, big dog? Bo Lizzle, what's going on? Rip to a Raider legend. Yeah, man, and Carol Davis, man. Like I said, you missed that last night. You got an absolute scholarship on Raider history last night, bro. You got a scholarship on that, okay? You need to go back and watch that from yesterday, all right? George Atkinson passed away. Yes, it was reported today, all right? Okay, straight up. What's going on, man? Mo in the house. What's going on, Mo Ross? What's good? Unfiltered Nation. I'm completely saddened by the passing of George Atkinson, Miss Carol Davis. I'm hurt for the Raiders organization. I'm speechless. Raider Nation right now. Um, yeah, man, it's bad, but you know what's even worse is the lack of respect that Mrs. Davis got yesterday on the NFL games. I have the NFL ticket. I watch 4 or 5 games at a time. I didn't hear nobody talk about the passing to Carol Davis. Carol Davis was an owner in this league. She was the majority owner. Mark Davis was just the face man. I didn't hear them say nothing on no telecast. They didn't say it on Sunday Night Football. They didn't give her a eulogy at half. They didn't give her not a thing, bro. Not a thing. I didn't see nothing on ESPN about George Atkinson's passing. And it just goes to show you it's Raiders versus everybody, bro. It's Raiders versus everybody. And the sooner you understand that, the better off you're going to be, bro. Get comfortable being the hated. Get comfortable looking at a person who claims they're the same as you, wearing the same colors, and they want to destroy as bad as everyone else. They worse than the Chiefs and Charger fans. They want to see us decimated, and they claim they're Raider fans. Like I said before, dog, I love being the enemy, because being the enemy means I don't get to trust nobody. I don't have to trust nobody. I'm never gonna be deceived because I already know better. All right, better embrace the dark side, homie. You're never gonna be appreciated no matter what. All right, understand that. Booty bang. I remember when you told us when George Atkinson cleaned Swan's clock. Yeah, twice. Twice, bro. You would think now today's NFL, they would have fined George Atkinson a shit ton of money for that. George Atkinson never got fined for it at all, bro. Even both hits, because during that time, hey man, what you got to be paying attention out here, bro. You don't get to have us pay attention for you. You don't get to be walking around kicking, kicking uh, uh, grass shavings on the ground, and you get hit, blown up, and we're supposed to throw a penalty flag, bro. Are you playing football, or are you walking around here smelling the flowers? What are you doing? Okay. Even Jack Tatum's debilitating hit on Daryl Stingley was legal. It was a legal play back then, bro. Okay. Yeah, it paralyzed the man, but there was no penalty. There was no excessive anything, bro. That's when men played the game and you understood what it was. Jack Tatum said every time he walked on the field, he accepted that he may die out there. He literally said, when I go out here, I'm willing to, whatever happens. If I gotta die, I die. That was how he played. We're not gonna put him in the Hall of Fame, even though he was great, because of what they would be condoning in their eyes. Ruthless football? Nah, we don't want that. Even though the Steelers did the same thing. Jack Lambert picked up, they started it, to be honest. Jack Lambert picked up Cliff Branch, picked him up and did a power thing on his head. No penalties, bro. Just imagine somebody that's coming, kicking you square in your ass, boom, and they just, hey, and line back up. That's, you guys don't understand that football. You guys cry over anything. You think all these quarterbacks will be running around? We didn't see all of that, dog. There was only a couple of quarterbacks in the National Football League when I was a kid that would run around. That would be Roger the Dodger Staubach. And he basically ran around in the back to try to pass the ball. He wasn't running past the line of scrimmage. He's like, and Fran, the Scrambler Tarkington. That's pretty much it. Okay? Because the rest of them quarterbacks, they're staying in the pocket because that was the best protection. The most protection is to stay in the pocket and have your players block for you. You get outside that tackle box, you meat, you food, bro. And that's where it should be. Too much running from these quarterbacks. Too much protection. Let them take some hits. Let them that slide. Nah, bro. You can slide, but we can hit you too. See how quick they don't do it. Too much running, too much tush pushing, too much for the offense, bro. Too much, because they want the scoring. All right. Big B in the house. What's going on? Booty bang was happening. Raider Paul ripped to a legend. Okay. Whittington Thomas ripped George Atkinson. Man, George Atkinson's a monster, bro. That was bad boy, dog. Man, back when we was kids, bro, when we was playing Pop Warner, bro, shit, we was like, which one do you want to be today? Do you want Shaq? You want to be Atkinson or do you want to be Tatum? I'm like, I'd rather be Atkinson because if I got to be Tatum, I might be knocked myself out because you really got to hit, you got to knock somebody's clock. At least I could hit you up the back of the head and all of that. Telling you, dog, that's football. Okay? There's a lot of things y'all don't know and you didn't see. You need to go talk to me, talk to the OGs, talk to your pops, your uncles, and your grandpops, and those of us that really know how these corners are being bent. You know that whole illegal hands to the face, all these calls, bro? Do you know that was legal up until 1974? You could head slap. Deacon Jones created the head slap where he would come off the line of scrimmage and he would just hit you upside your head. It was legal. Now, NFL's soft, bro, compared to what it used to be. All right? But you used to be able to hit people in the head slap, whatever it was, bro, clotheslines, all that shit was legal. Legal. Grab them around the helmet. Boom. All this, don't fall with the force of your weight on the quarterback. Oh, nah, dog. Nah. You supposed to be a football player, bro. You know, in the grasp. Oh, he's in the grasp. Beep, 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 beep. You got to let him go. Nah, dog, we finishing the play. Nah, you was running. We about to pick your ass up and slam you on your head. That's what it was. Okay? Straight up. That injury to Cam Scatterboo you saw yesterday, bro. Salute to Cam Scatterboo, but that was common. That's what it was. Legs broke, bones coming out, blood running down your face, all that. Jim Otto style. That's what it was, bro. I loved it. That made me want to play. Guys, straight up. All right. The nation needs your wisdom. The nation can get my wisdom. It's on to them, dog. It's like anything else, bro. Can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them sip anything. I'm doing my job. Information's here. Thousands of videos, bro, right here. Every day. Okay? All right, man, straight up. All right. Okay, what's going on? All right, Millie Mill. Heard to a legend. Original member of the Soul Patrol. Y'all heard the Legion of Boom? Legion of Boom. Legion of Boom and Soul Patrol's right there, bro. Soul Patrol was the 70s version of the Legion of Boom, bro, but just more vicious. Tell you, that Soul Patrol was something else, bro. You ain't understand it. You ain't getting it. Okay? Without question, bro. Go watch some tape. All right, man, straight up. Booty Bang was happening. All right, man. This was the greatest. The GOAT. John Madden, I agree. What up, man? What's going on? What's going on, big dog? What's happening? All right. Okay, Mo Ross was good. All right, sad day for the OGs. Yeah. Bo Long. Smash that like, man. Come on, man. Move it up. Take care of your bartender. Okay, you already know. What's the quote of the day? Quote of the day is never forget where you come from. That's the quote of the day. Never forget where you come from. No matter what it is today, understand whatever it is today ain't you unless you accept it. I don't accept 2 and 5. I don't accept all the bullshit over the last 5 years. To me, once we landed in Vegas, we weren't the Raiders. I don't know what this is, but it ain't me. I'll sit back and wait until I see something that looks like me, bro. But don't bring me a baby that don't look like me, bruh. That baby, they ain't mine. And that's what it is, dog. I don't care how much you say, it's yours. Like I said before, I know that baby ain't mine. Okay, straight up. All right. I tell you, better understand that. Hey, she don't want to go take no test. You damn sure better understand that ain't yours. So this Vegas Raiders, y'all got it, bro. Y'all got it. Y'all got the right people in place. y'all sign the right people. Y'all put the right people in the general manager's position. You hire the right coaches. You guys are doing it right, bro. I mean, who am I to tell you what to do? You know, y'all got it. Don't worry about what Shaq doing. Okay, that's you, homie. You're going to raise a child that ain't yours. It ain't going to be me. Don't call me, bruh. Couldn't be me, bruh. All right, man. Chris Leonard, sad day. Raiders organization. First is Mrs. Davis and now George Atkinson. Hey, man. I'm hoping that that old saying that it comes in threes doesn't happen. Okay? All right, man. Lloyd Lay, show me your youngsters, and I will never understand the criminal element, what the criminal element was. Okay? There was no criminal element. His boys was getting shellacked. His boys was getting touched up. Okay? Pete Rozelle was the commissioner during that time. Pete Rozelle never fined nobody, bro. As much as he hated Al Davis and Al Davis hated him, there was no penalties levied. There was no fines. There was no suspensions. It wasn't anything. Like I said, that was football, bro. Stop walking around here thinking you're going to get preferential treatment. Nah, you're a football player unless you're outside. The only people who can get some preferential treatment is those kickers when they're kicking the ball and you run into them, and a quarterback that's in the pocket. Once you get outside those tackle boxes, you are a runner. You are free game. No free slides. No, don't hit me. None of that. We blow your ass up like everybody else. All right, understand that? Okay, I love that, George. Ignore Franco. It's on tape, bro. We had on the black jerseys. They had on the white ones. It was right across the dirt. You could see the dirt. It was in Oakland, running across the dirt. Franco ran across the frame. George Atkinson was not even. Y'all got it. Let me go find Lynn right quick to let him know it's still on site. Sleep. Y'all know Steph? Night. Dragged off, was out of the whole game, bro, for the second year in a row. 2 games in a row. I just saw you in the AFC Championship game. There was only 1 game in between. There was the AFC Championship game in 74. Atkinson clipped them. They went to the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl season opener against us. What happened? Stop playing. It's not over. Okay? All right. Pete Samario, man. You should make a shirt about that recent sport against Atkinson. I should. But will y'all buy it, though? I mean, how many people are really going to know except for the OGs? You know? I should just go and look it up. Look that police report up. I mean, but like I said before, man, you know, the majority of fans didn't live that. Okay? We did. It means something to us, Pete. But like I said, the skinny jean wearers of the nation, bro, like, they're too busy listening to people who's never won a Super Bowl. They listening to people who never won anything. That's who they follow. Okay? They don't follow the ones that know everything. All right, Richard Patterson, major losses in Raider Nation. Atkinson, a major part of the Soul Patrol. They are the reason the NFL changed the rules. Had a big impact on how the Soul Patrol, rest in peace, big bro. Yeah, dog. They changed the rules because of that. Like as much as fans that are not fans of the Raiders try to make us believe, like I said, it's your job to make sure that you don't be what anyone says you are. Anyone can say anything about you. It doesn't have to be true. Okay? Your job is to make sure you're not anything they say you are. Oh, you guys Raiders, you guys are the worst franchise in the NFL. You guys are the dysfunctional, blah, blah, blah. Dude, we shaped football. Every time we did something, they changed the rules. Every time, bro. The way that the league was to stop us. They changed rules, and put a 1 in the chat if you're old enough to know that. They changed rules to stop us, and in turn, changed football. Pete Rozelle did not want the Raiders to win anything. So every time there was something that benefited us, they took it away. Every time, dog. Okay? All the things that were legal before we did it, as soon as we did it and it benefited us, the next season it was gone, bro. The next year. Okay? After those Lynn Swann complaints, no more hits to the head. Change the rule. Okay? Change the rule going into 76. They changed it. But guess what we did? We won the Super Bowl. Even though they changed the rules and we were the most penalized team in football. Every time the Raiders won a Super Bowl, we were the most penalized team in football. Nobody was. You think these penalty flags and them throwing flags just started when you became a fan? No, it's been that way, bro. But the difference was it didn't matter. We were so good, you can call a penalty all day. We run a touchdown, they call a flag. Okay, what did we do the next play, Pete? We did that same play again and scored. Like, oh, you just want us to do it again? It's just like Al Pacino. Hey, Al, can you do another take? Yeah, I can do it. Say hello to my little friend. Okay, now do it again. Say hello to my little friend. Boom. The second one was better than the first one. We were that good. You can call penalties all you want. You can try to take back a this and that. All we're going to do is do it again. Okay? There was no, oh, man, they doing this, man, index card, bro. Nah, dog. Oh, that's what we're doing? Okay, let's just do it again. John Madden was like, run it again. They can't stop it. Run it again. Run it again. Score it again. What, are you going to keep calling it? You keep calling a penalty. We keep scoring. That's what we did. You're not doing shit. Okay, straight up. All right. Booty Bang says, how was it meeting Bill Walsh? Meeting Bill Walsh was dope because I didn't know I was meeting Bill Walsh. I didn't know I was meeting him, dog. I was in college and I went to Barnes and Nobles to do my homework because I would go to Barnes and Nobles because they had a little coffee shop back there and that's where all the little shooby doobies would be at. They would be in there doing their term papers and shit and I would be in there doing mine. And when I got there, there was a long-ass line of 49er fans. I'm like, what's going on? I walk in, Bill Walsh was the head coach of Stanford at that time, and he was doing a book signing. He was signing, he'd buy a book, Bill sign it, take a picture. They had the register right there. You buy the book. Book was like $50. All these 49er fans wanted to get an autograph, buy a book, get up there. He sign it, take a picture, next person. Now, you know damn well I wasn't going to buy no Bill Walsh book, but I'm smart enough to know that I'm going to get up there and say something. So I got a book, got the book off the rack, stood in line, got up to the front, put the book down. I said, Coach Walsh, I'm a big Raider fan. I want to know what your opinion is on Al Davis. He said, Al? He said, come over here, son, stand next to me. Come over here, son, and stand next to me while I do this. And I stood there, security, everybody was mad. But he said, come over here, I'll talk to you while I do this. So Mr. Raider fan, me, stood next to Coach Walsh while he's signing 49er books, and he's talking to me in between signing books. What do you want to know, son? I asked him everything I wanted to ask him. I asked him about the West Coast offense. I asked him about Sid Gilman. I asked him about being on that staff. I asked him everything I wanted to for an hour. And he answered all my questions. Okay? That is a lie by itself. Everything I wanted to know, he answered it. All right? And guess what? That was an honor to do that. I was like, okay, coach, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. You think I didn't get an autograph or nothing? I wasn't trying to do all of that. I just wanted to talk to Coach Walsh. And I did. It was an honor. But if you think he didn't have respect for Al Davis, you're mistaken. Okay? That's what I'll say about it. All right? Richard Patterson, a real Raider, without question. Booty Bang, I knew Raiders and Steelers were rivals, but I never knew that they hated each other. Come on, dog. Don't you remember last year when I was at the airport and I ran into Mean Joe Green? Go watch that live. You see that picture of me and the legendary Mean Joe Green, bro. Nobody recognized him but me. He's sitting at my gate. I'm walking by and I look dead at it and I'm like, Mean Joe Green. Because if you come from my era, you know Mean Joe Green did the Coke commercial. Where he threw the jersey to the kid and the kid caught it and all that. So I knew what Mean Joe Green looked like, plus I'm a Raider. And he was sitting there. And I talked to him and I took a picture and we had a big conversation about it. There's a whole live on here. Okay? So he told me straight up. When I told him I was a Raider fan, that man is 80-something years old. When I said I was a Raider fan, his face screwed up like this. Soon as I said Raider, his face screwed up. That's an old ass man, bro. Stop giving these Chiefs so much credit, bro. That's why I don't understand you guys, bro. Y'all really got the Chiefs really in the Raider fans' heads. They really think that these guys are a big deal. Chiefs ain't no big deal, bro. Ain't no big deal, man. They are straight finesse. They're a team that wins because they get help. I mean, if it was just hat on a hat, if we were allowed to play like we played before, hat on a hat, and we beat their brains in because they wouldn't get the calls. Let them stop getting calls. Let us start being able to hit and do what we do. Stop throwing flags when we get advantages, bro. It won't be like this. Okay? But the league has a mandate, allegedly. All right. Al hired Art Shell because he was the best person for the job. Al should have kept Art as a head coach. That was the biggest mistake the old man ever made. He admitted it. When he fired Art Shell, when Art Shell went 12-4, all these people, man, all these people that be talking crazy, bro, if it wasn't for Al Davis, there wouldn't be a Mike Tomlin in the NFL right now. Okay? Without question, there wouldn't be one because who was the first team to hire a black head coach in the modern era? That would be the Raiders, bro. Nobody else did. Nobody was hiring no brothers as no coach. The last time that had happened was in the 20s, bro, in the 1920s. Al didn't have a racist bone in his body, and he would not approve of any of these racists that's in the Raider Nation. All y'all need to get taken out into the backyard and taken care of, dog. I can't stand you guys. Y'all don't represent anything but something that ain't us. Okay? I hope all y'all suffered. I hope you suffer a phenomenal ending. I can't stand y'all. Y'all came over here and disrespected me over this. Okay? And guess what? You got what you deserved, homie. And all that barking you would do, you wouldn't do it in any of my face or any of the real one's face. Okay? Because you get your nose wiped. Understand that. You're brave on the internet, but in real life, we know better. All right? Can't stand them punks. Okay? Y'all follow a lot of these punks too. That's the crazy part. All right? All right, man. Straight up. Richard Patterson. Physicality and intimidation. You always knew what you played the Raiders. You knew what they were going to bring it. Ask anybody that played in that era. Ask any of the great wide receivers from that era, man. Ask Drew Pearson from the Dallas Cowboys. Ask Paul Warfield or any of these dudes that from the Miami Dolphins or any of these dudes that played in that era, bro. They'll tell you, man, you better keep your head on a swivel. Go ask Steve Largent, who was in our division, okay, for the Seattle. Man, you better know where these guys are, bro. Okay? You better know where they're at. All right? Ask Stanley Morgan, who was on the other side of that field when Darryl Stingley got it. Like, hey, man, is it really worth it? Is catching this football really worth it? Whole lot of alligator arming, bro, coming across that middle because you knew those safeties was waiting for you, bro. Them safeties were waiting. Oh, yeah, Tatum, I'm waiting. Atkinson, I'm waiting. Yeah. It's way before Bounty Gate, bro. Skip Thomas tried to warn the homie, bro. There's a homie from your old neighborhood, and he's in the new neighborhood, and you like, yo, dog, watch out, bro. Watch out for what? Watch out for what? Glenn Swan. Huh? There's a bounty, bro. That means there's some cake being disseminated. $100 from blood, $200 for a knockout, stretcher $300, whatever it was, allegedly. And I believe Lynn Swan. I believe Dr. Death tried to warn him. Like, yo, if you think that it's over because you went to the press, you don't know these guys. These guys, I know them. They're not intimidated at all. You better watch out. And he didn't. He did not. He was looking this way when Franco was running this way, and George was like, yeah, stay just like that. Go watch the video. Go look it up. It's all over, bro. Put in George Atkinson, put in Lynn Swan, and put in hit. You'll see. And no penalty, no flag. No disqualification, no DQ, no fine, no suspension. Just somebody knocked the F out, bruh. Okay? You got knocked the F out on some smoky shit. Legal. They changed that. They changed that, man. The Raiders won the Super Bowl? Oh, no. Oh, no. Long as we weren't winning the Super Bowl, it was cool. As soon as we won the Super Bowl, it was like, nah, man, we can't have these cats. Then we had to change our way we played. That's when we got Lester Hayes. That's when we traded from Mike Haynes. That's when we got our cornerbacks locked down. We played a lot less physical, but we had better corners. Mike Haynes, who's in the hall, the judge who's been railroaded to get into the hall. Okay? Like I said, every time we benefited off of something, they took it away. Oh, Stickum was fine. Everybody used Stickum. Okay? Fred Biletnikoff introduced Lester Hayes to the Stickum. He won a damn the MVP of Super Bowl 11, Stickum'd up. But as soon as the judge had those 13 interceptions where he tied Dick Night Train Lane for the most in history, which is still a record, and won a depoy, the next year, no more Stickum. That's done. Raiders benefit, nobody uses it. The Holy Roller. Okay, 1978 against the San Diego Chargers. Last play of the game, back to pass, he gets that. He fumbles the ball forward. Okay, Pete Banaszak jumps on the ball, scoops it up forward more. Dave Casper fumbles it into the end zone, falls on it. Raiders win. What happened the next season? Can't fumble the ball forward. You know that. You know you can't fumble the ball forward, bro. You can't purposely fumble it forward. You fumble it forward, it's at where it touched at. It's dead at the point where it's touched. This is today's football. Stop letting these fools make you think that your team ain't relevant when all we are is relevant. We change rules, bro. The rules change when we win. They change the rules, bro. That's what happens. It just happened when Josh McDaniels was the head coach. Remember when Daniel Carlson had the tee and he was able to kick the ball up that tee and we were able to get more hang time? What did they do the next week? No more tee. That tee is illegal now. Like I said, you keep letting these people make you think you ain't shit and you won't be. But they can't do that to me. That's why they don't come over here. There is no talking to me. There's no correcting me. There's no checking me. There's no trying to out-raider me. There's none of that. You come over here, you're going to grab a desk. You're going to open up your notebook. You're going to pull out a number 2 pencil. You're going to shut the F up and you're going to listen or you're going to get the hell out, kick you out. Because there is no you running shit over here. This is straight school is in session. Y'all know that. You know that. Okay? You're going to get a PhD lesson in Raider. Straight up. Okay? And you know what? Everybody don't want that. They want to walk around here thinking they know more than us. All right? With no degrees, not even a GDE in Raider. But y'all got it. Stay over there, bro. Don't need you. Okay? We're going to continue to do what we do. Aunt Carter in the building. What time is it, man? I got to get up out of here. Go pick my kid up. All right? Okay? I'm going to leave in about 5 minutes. Edward Chiplin, what's going on? What's going on, Aunt? Okay? Ain't no one going to tell her like Shaq because I give a damn. This shit means something to me, bro. All right? It means something that we're this sorry, bro. It hurts all of us. Ringers, bro, this is not what we do. I don't get it, man. When are we going to go back to what we used to do, bro? It is what it is. Sometimes you got to go back to the old ways, bro. Like, this isn't working. How much longer does it take for us to realize it don't work? It's working as far as the bank is concerned. The bank receipts is beautiful. But is that trickling down to you? I mean, damn. Every time you think you saving money, they just charge you more. Have you noticed that? Oh shit, man, it's gonna be better, man. Everything's gonna be cheaper. No, it's not. It's more. It's more now, bro. You let them come in and start locking up all the food, locking up all the resources. Now you got to pay more. Now you got to get on your knees and start doing what you do best. Not me, bro. I was already ready. Okay, y'all got it though. All right, man. Richard Patterson says I'm speaking the truth. He's only been a Raider fan since 1967. Longer than me. Okay, longer than I've been alive. All right, man. Old man Willie. Fambo, let me get up out of here, y'all. I got to go pick up my son. All right. Okay. All right, man. What's goody, Justin Saw, man? You always in here doing what you supposed to do. Jay Marion, I'm going to shout y'all out, then I got to go. Unknown Raider guy. All right, man. Kevin Belt in the house. What's going on? Rest in peace to George Atkinson. Elmatic. Fambo. Okay. Matthew B. Chiefs of the new Patriots, making Mahomes from fit Brady. Yeah, but the thing about it is, though, he wasn't the new Brady when he played them Eagles. Like I said before, you can't be the GOAT if you don't beat the GOAT. All right, man. Mr. BR in the house. Carlos Dominguez in the house. What's going on, y'all? Al Davis was all about diversity. I mean, I can't stand all these racists, man. Y'all shouldn't even tolerate all the stuff you hear. You see these dudes saying some crazy stuff, you should be offended no matter what you are. I'm a black man. I hear somebody talking greasy about my Latinos, my Latina homies, I'm going to say some shit. My white homies, I'm going to say some shit. I don't know who raised you guys, how you guys let these dudes be this brazen. They all over Facebook, TikTok, all over the place. Y'all should be checking these punks. Okay? It ain't my job to do because I can't do it by myself. Y'all let these people say whatever, dog. It's crazy, man, how y'all allow that shit. Okay? All right, man. Jalen Season, what's going out there in Detroit? Drummer, what's happening? Okay, what's happening? All right, man. I get up out of here, y'all. Raiders New Central. Okay? Go to MatthewShackUnfiltered.com and go buy you this. Go buy something nice. The Tom Telesco shirt's still up. Other stuff. We got the brand new Howie Long shirt, man. Do something for yourself, man. Yeah, man, it's time for me to get up out of here. Go get my kid. All right, man. All right, man. All right, Kevin Bell in the house. All right, man. Slotting y'all out, man. Louis G, you already know. Okay, Louis G knows what it is. He got his Howie Long, and Bill Holloway just got his. He hit me up. He said, "Badass, bro. Everything we do is badass, dog. Can't be having the OGs walking around looking any kind of way, dog." I might just go ahead and do a George Atkinson. I'm thinking about it. Might have to do that. All right, Winnington Thomas, you know what it is, not what it ain't. All right. We'll see about tonight, man. We'll see. Okay. See because I got two things going on. I'll see whether or not I just want to enjoy it or do I want to come on with y'all. I'll have the screen split in half, seeing the Chiefs hopefully getting their ass whooped, and we'll see if the Dodgers can hold court here in LA. All right, man. Love all y'all, man. Salute the two real Raiders that have left the building. Mrs. Carol Davis and the hitman, George Atkinson. Rest in peace to two real Raiders. And if you're not doing it like Shaq, you're not doing it right. Matthew Shack Unfiltered.